Good morning, everyone. This is my name is Teresa Marsh, and I'm from SassyStampingWithTeresa.com. I'm an independent Stampin' demonstrator located in Eastern North Carolina, in Newbern, North Carolina, in the United States. We're having an interesting time right now. Here in Eastern North Carolina, we have right now it's 25 degrees outside, which is very unusual for us, and my yard's got about 4 inches of snow in it. So this is an interesting time right now for Eastern North Carolinians. Very strange weather pattern, but I'm glad that we have it because there's some folks that live here who've never seen snow. So I've got a great granddaughter who was walking around the house yesterday. She's two. She was walking around her house yesterday with her coat asking people to take her outside for the snow. So she's enjoying finding out about snow herself. And she's got a couple of older siblings who are more than happy to help her discover snow. All right, well, today we're going to be using some celebration items along with the stamp set that we used last week. So I want to share with you some of what we've got for celebration. In particular, I will show you the stamp set that we're going to be using is called Pick a Season. And this is it right here. Let me switch this. There we go. Pick a Season. Pick a Season is available with a $60 purchase, and it's free with a $60 purchase. I love this because it's got the gaps in the tree, but it's got different things you can put in those gaps. All right, it's really, really cool, I think. It's got shamrocks and hearts, roses, Easter eggs, other leaves, which is fine. You know, you don't have to have it be anything different than what it is, just a tree. And some more leaves. It's got clouds and grass, and we can have a scrawny tree or a robust tree. So that's got a lot of flexibility to it. And we're going to be using this today for the tree for our main thing today. And for the sentiment on the card, we're going to be using the Delightful Wishes bundle. We're going to say wishing, I think we'll go wishing you were here. All right. And one of the other things I wanted to mention to you about celebration right now, we have a special going, a celebration special for joining Stampin' Up. A lot of folks enjoy the community and seeing products before everyone else can see products, as well as gathering together with friends and whatnot. So the celebration, during celebration, we always have a special, an added incentive, an added bonus for folks who decide to become demonstrators during celebration. As always, you pay just $99 for a starter kit, and you get to choose $125 worth of product. There's free shipping on that order. And for those of you who order on a regular basis, you know that the extra product you get plus having free shipping really makes that a good deal. But on top of that, during celebration, there's 2 bonus options that you can choose from. One is your choice of 2 marker sets from the Stampin' Right marker assortments. And one of the great things about these is that when you're just starting out, you can often use the wider tip, the brush tip, to ink up a piece of a stamp. So if you don't have that stamp pad color yet, you can use the marker tip sometimes to add that color to the stamp. So that's a great advantage there. But if you're not interested in those, you also have option 2, which is your choice of an additional $30 in free products. So now is a good time if you've thought about joining Stampin' Up! As a demonstrator. Now would be a good time to look at that again and see if it's the right time for you. I would love to work with any of you that would like to do this. Now, if you didn't get a celebration catalog, you know, this one right here, if you didn't get one and you don't have a demonstrator, drop me a note and let me know that you'd like one. Drop me a note at Teresa@sassystampingwiththeresa.com, and I would love to help you out with that. And of course, we are also using a set of stamps for, okay, hold on, set of stamps from the mini catalog. So if you haven't got a mini catalog and don't have a demonstrator and need one, just go ahead again and contact me at Teresa@sassystampingwiththeresa.com, and I'll be glad to get one to you. Today we're going to be using the stamp set that's included in the Floral Delight Suite. We're going to be using this one, Delightful Wishes, for our sentiment for our card. Now, I did a little bit of pre-prep. Probably not enough. I'll probably go too long again today. But we have our card base, which is 5 1/4 by 8 1/2, scored at 4 1/4. 5 1/2. Yeah, 5 1/2 by 8 1/2, scored at 4 1/4. I'll get that right in just a minute. Let me go ahead and fold that and burnish it. Like I said last week, be careful when you use your Stampin' Up! Bone folder. Don't let your black part get on your card, and you don't even have to ask me how I know that. But anyway, there's our card base. And I've also got a couple layers that are going to go on this. This is Poppy Parade, and this is 5 3/8 by 4 1/8, and this white piece is 4 by 5 1/4, and that's going to be layered this way to give us some definition. We're going to start right out with stamping. This is almost a SIP card. Have you heard of that before? SIP, S-I-P, stamps, ink, and paper. For the most part, that's what this is, but we're going to have a couple of other things on it too. So maybe I should start with those other things. Now, if you're doing this at home, you can use the center of this page to cut out what you need from the Poppy Parade, but I just wanted to be better prepared, so I went ahead and took a scratch piece. I'm going to use the background of the wishing and die cut that from Poppy Parade, and then I'm going to use the writing that goes on the background. I'm going to die cut that from white. And as you know, I can't, there we go. We have to have this in place in order to be able to do this without it writing all over everywhere. So we'll cross our fingers and hope that this all comes out well. Here's the white piece. All right, put that to the side. And here's the Poppy Parade piece. I'm going to put that to the side as soon as it comes out too. All right. I love this mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. I like being able to just reach over to the corner of my desk and grab it and not have to get up and go. That's the reason I prepped it too, because the large one is permanently ensconced at a place in my space, and I didn't want to have to get up during the middle of my live. Okay. Here's our background for our lettering, for our part of our sentiment. There's our background. And we're going to stamp the wishing you were here. We're going to stamp on that one. Now, this is the fun one. Okay, it came out in the die. That's good. That's good. All right. Getting your die cuts, getting your dies out of this can sometimes be a challenge. One of the biggest things I'll warn you about is the dots for the eyes. One of the first, that's not good. That came apart instead of coming off. There we go. I took the end off instead of just, there we go, instead of taking the cover off. I'm going to take the center of the H out. Okay, there we go. And I'm going to put this down because I'm going to pop those two eyes, the dots from the eyes. I'll pop them out right on that so I won't lose them. I know you can't see them from there, right? But that's my big warning to you. It's very much too easy to lose those dots from those eyes. This is such a beautifully delicate piece of lettering, of scripting. I love this. I truly, truly do. But it can be a challenge. Now, I know a lot of folks that would use the adhesive sheet on that. That's definitely an option. But one of the things that I like to do is to use my, there we go, to use my glue on it. And I'll tell you why. I find that it's easier to get something this fine out of the die without the adhesive sheets on it. And I also find that peeling the adhesive sheet off of something this delicate is a challenge for me. Maybe it's just that I'm a little clumsy. We do know this. Those of you who know me know this. All right, now this is my super fine. Let me get that out of the way. This is my super fine glue. Okay, there we go. And I'm just getting a little drop of glue out on the tip of this and touching it very lightly a few, along the way of these letters. Definitely want the end of the G. And I'm using, I'll be honest, I'm using a glue that can be a challenge to work with. If you use the Tombow glue, the challenge with the Tombow glue is that if you get a little bit in the wrong spot, if you get some glue someplace where it's not going to be covered, then the Tombow glue will dry a little bit sticky. So for some folks, that's another vote for the adhesive backing sheet. So that's things to consider when you're looking at, okay, which glue or which attachment process do I want to use? Do I want to use, liquid glue? Do I want to use the sheet? What do I want to use? Okay. All right. That did pretty well. Now let's see if I can get these dots on these two eyes. Okay. The challenge here is going to be getting a small enough dot. Getting You get the dot in there and you move it till it's lined up right, and then you know that your glue, okay, there it is. Your glue is gonna dry clear. I got this set of, I got this reverse tweezer way before Stampin' Up. Is my head in the way? No. I got this reverse tweezer way before Stampin' Up had one. And I used this metal one for my fine work. There we go. There's our wishing. I know you're wondering how it's all going to turn out, aren't you? That's the hardest part of the whole card. The rest of it is just stamps, ink, and paper. There we go. I'm trying to get the lid on this fine tip. I love this fine tip. I don't get glue everywhere when I use the fine tip. This super fine tip like that. All right. There's that. There's that. I'm going to go ahead. I did not pull that one. I need to get that sentiment out. Wishing you were here. I don't know how I didn't get that out, but anyway, I didn't. There we go. We're going to do that in Poppy Parade. So the wishing is going to be white on Poppy, and the you were here is going to be Poppy on white. So they go together quite well, but there we go. Just a little bit off level, but it's a handmade card, so it's okay. All righty. Oh, I got some comments. Hey, Vaughn. It's good to see you there. It's good to see you there. Okay, there's that. Now, I better not put that away because I'm going to be using some of that. Okay. Here is our white 5 1/4 by 4 piece. And you notice I'm not attaching it to that until after I finish my stamping. All right, we're going to start with, Early Espresso. Now, when I did a trial on this one, I did the trunk of the tree in a different color, but I want to put 2 different browns on here. So here's the trunk of the tree. So I'm taking it to the darker brown. I did it the other way on my dry run. And yes, I did do a dry run this time. Okay, I like that better. That's going to do better for this, because our next thing is going to be the top of the tree, the leaves. We're using Old Olive for that, and a D block. Ink it up, look at it, make sure it's nicely inked. I don't think there's a right side up, upside down on this. It's just a matter of put it above and you're fine. Let it sit for just a moment. Let the ink get into the paper a bit. All right, there we go. Oh, I'm going to use that for something else too. I'm going to put a little bit of grass at the bottom. At the bottom of this tree. I may put some more grass somewhere else on that, but we'll see. I definitely wanted to at least ground the tree a bit. Now, to bring some of our poppy parade in here, we are going to use the other end of this with the little red hearts. You know what? I think I would rather put this on a different, excuse me. There we go. I can see better on a different block. It fit fine on the other block, but I needed more space around the hearts so I could see where they were fitting into the gaps on the tree. Let's see better how they were fitting. So
that's funny. I got to sweep the snow off the cars.
Excuse me, I'm online. It's all right. He was sweeping the snow off the cars. He was having a good time. Okay. Maybe you didn't hear him. But anyway, he was coming in to tell me all about what he was doing. Okay, there's our hearts in the tree. Not exactly what you expect, right? Hearts in a tree. Okay. Now we're going to use pecan pie. We're going to clean that heart stamp. Because I want to use that block again. And you'll notice in this stamp set, this is such a cool stamp set because you can do so much with it. But anyway, got this stamp set. And I'm going to use pecan pie. And we're going to put a fence behind this heart tree. I don't know if it's apples or what, but I'm not doing a very good job of lining them up, or am I? Okay. There's our fence behind the tree. Let's put a touch of grass under the fence as well. Oh, wrong color. We don't want brown grass. We want it to be green. Okay, so we'll put some green there. There we go. Alrighty. Okay. There's our old olive grass and our pecan pie fence. Now I could put some more grass down here, but we'll just have to wait and see how we like it. In fact, no, I know I need a little bit of grass down here. I don't want to get it overfilled. Yeah, Yvonne, that's our mic. And then, of course, he walked away excusing himself. he does not want to interrupt or whatever, but let me put bits of grass down here. Some of it's going to get covered, I'm sure. Well, some of it's going to get covered for sure. All righty. Okay, that's our stamping. So now we're going to put some glue on the back of this. One of the cool things about glue on the back, if you're careful, it doesn't take much. If you put a whole lot, sometimes you get kind of a wrinkle or a dimple. And so I like to use my super small nozzle glue. There's a piece of our stuff. And I have to wipe the glue off. There we go. Oh, see, I closed it up. Silly me. I might want to put it on the card base. Thank you very much. Well, I'm not going to use it that way. I think I could have put that. In fact, I probably should have attached that with dimensionals. But what I'll do is I'll attach this whole thing with dimensionals and add some extra dimension there. All I'll do is find my card base. There we go. It's underneath there. All right. Good morning, Yvonne. Did you get more than 4 inches where you are? 4 inches of snow where you are? Mike went out and measured it, so we got 4 inches here. So, and of course, here in North Carolina, there's not a lot of folks who have snow shovels or anything like that. Of course, my husband does because he was an Illinois boy. So when we used to visit his folks, somewhere along the way, he picked up a snow shovel. I'm surprised he doesn't have 2. You might have heard that saying, 1 is none and 2 is 1. Or is that just a military saying? Is that just military? Anyway, he tends to go by that. 2 is 1 and 1 is none. So if he needs something, he needs 2 of them. So I'm putting extra on the back of this because I want it to be sure to sit up straight and be counted. And pulling off the little backing papers on this. Do you folks find that you have a challenge with lining things up when they're on dimensionals? Because this is a tight fit. There. All right. That did pretty well. Okay. I'm pumped. There we go. I am pumped. We're going to take this wishing, I think, and we're going to put it across here. And then wishing you were here. Oh, I need some red behind that. Does this need to go lower? No. I want this right here. And I want this right here. Do I have enough left on here to do a backing? No. But I do have the rest of that piece. Hold on a second. Let me just glue that right there, and then I'll cut around it. So it'll still be white on red. It'll just have another layer. Wishing you were here. Okay. Alrighty. I'm going to cut this a lot bigger than it needs to be because I can trim it easier when I'm not holding a lot of other. We will cut it something of an arrow point. Nope. There we go. Okay, that arrow point somewhat mimics the shape of that sentiment die cut, but it's a much simpler way to do it. All right. And these are going to go on dimensionals as well, but of course we have to do the larger dimensionals would work on our sentiment strip. Okay, so that's ready. Put that bit in the middle. Now, let's see the places I can use a full one. On the back of the G, on the S, and on the W. All right, now we're at the stage of needing small, thin ones. That's for the H. Now let's go really thin. Okay, there's the G. Okay, let's see how that does. Oh, there's one came right off on my finger. Okay. Obviously, you don't have to be as picky about this as I get. Can you tell I have a tendency to be a little bit on the picky side? Oh well. Fortunately, it hasn't cost me any friendships lately. Hopefully, it never has, but we shall see. All right. Now, let's see about getting the backing off of these. I'm sure you guys have some other techniques on getting the backing off. Okay. And then I pick up my item. There we go. Do I want it up high across the tree? Or do I want it kind of through this level here? What do we think? Maybe even a little bit down on the fence. Let's do that. Yeah, I only use the tweezers, the reverse tweezers on those little pieces because I didn't want to accidentally pull the whole piece up. There we go. Let's cover up that brownish section. There we go. That brownish section of grass. Wishing you were here. Now that I've done that, I think I'd like a little bit more grass high because I covered up so much of it. Yes, this is the old olive. This is not some other color. Now, usually I would not be stamping on a piece that already had dimensionals below it. Does it bother you when I lose track of a sentence in the middle of the sentence? It bothers the heck out of my husband. But hopefully, well, I know that's just a... All right, that's just, see, I just did it again. I know that's just a symptom of how busy my brain is. Now, we're going to use an online exclusive item, the hearts sequins, because you know me, I still want bling, but I'm not going to get it way overpowering. You got large, medium, and small hearts here. I think I may go with only the small ones. I think the mediums are too big for everything else on here. So I'm going to go with just the small ones. Almost like it's leaves falling or whatever falling from, hearts falling from the tree. Okay, this can be used. It's like I mentioned before. I think I mentioned in our description for today's video that you can use this as a Valentine. Obviously, you can use this for a Valentine. With all the hearts on it and stuff like that, you can use it for a Valentine. But it's also a really good, just missing you. I wish you were here. I love you. You know, I can think of one of my adult grandchildren that I would enjoy sending this to. And I really do like that I did the pecan pie for the fence and went with the darker brown for the tree trunk, because I like the I like that it's lighter. All right. So would you feel okay getting, would you feel okay? Would you feel blessed getting a Valentine like that? I think so. I would. All right. You can write in it, you can write a note in it, or you can find a sentiment that you'd like to put on the inside in there. But anyway, this is, for the most part, this is stamps, ink, and paper. Obviously, you could hand cut a background and a sentiment strip, and you could hand cut a piece of paper that you could stamp the wishing on a piece of white paper with the Poppy Parade ink, and then bubble cut around it with your scissors. So you don't have to have necessarily a die cutting machine. You could make this basic card, because that's basically what this is bubble cut around white printing. If you were doing bubble cut, you would be bubble cutting white cardstock that had a red sentiment stamped on it. And I have tried that, doing stamping the fine script, and it works quite well. That is part of the set. All right. And of course, this is the adhesive backed heart sequins that we put on here. They're in our online exclusives, and they just came out. Okay. So, wishing you were here. This stamp set. And this set right here. Delightful wishes for our sentiment. Pick a season for our basic stamping. And our glitter, our bling, is the heart sequins. Let me know if you have any questions about this card or any other card you've seen me make. Drop me a note if you have an idea of what you'd like to see next. I will probably, again, do something with the Delightful Wishes next week. I'm really enjoying the Floral Delight Suite. I'm truly enjoying the Floral Delight Suite. So I imagine I'll be working with that a little bit more as we go along. So it's been, how long have we been on? Almost 45 minutes, still a little bit longer than I need to do. I'm going to do better. So I appreciate you. Sorry. Do you ever get your tongue tied around your eye teeth and you can't see what you're saying? Oh my goodness. My daddy used to say that. That's a card. That's something fun. That's a way to get connected and to stay connected with people. One of the greatest things about Stampin' Up! As a hobby or as a business, if you need to do it as a business, one of the greatest things about it is the ability to connect with people. I never used to send cards. It was not my thing. I have a hard time connecting with people sometimes. And this has really helped. This has really, truly helped. I find myself feeling closer to the folks I've sent a card to. I find myself wanting to use the cards I make. I've seen some folks struggle with making cards and never sending them. And I suppose that's something that some folks deal with or have to deal with or whatever. But I'll tell you truthfully, that's the very reason I believe that God got me into this, is to help me connect with people better. The the community, the camaraderie, the friends that I've made, the friends that have gotten to know me better because of the cards. It's something that God has truly used to enrich my life and to help me share Him with other people. I know for some of you, knowing God better, knowing Him more, may be very important to you. Some of you may not care to worry about that at all. But for those of you who want to know God better, I would love to be able to share with you anything about what God's taught me. I would love to pray for you. I would love to make a better connection with you. So if you would like to connect with me again, drop me a note, Teresa at sassystampingwiththeresa.com. And remember, I may love you, but God loves you more. Have a good day, and I'll see you next week. Bye.